Okay, so if I could give a quick rundown of my college journey, it would be I grew up in state, so from elementary all the way to high school here in Washington. Attended the University of Washington, studied mechanical engineering. Freshman year is summed up by solitude, really focusing on my academics. I really valued my grades my freshman year and wanting to 4.0 every class. And so I had no social life. I worked hard on just learning how to perfect my study habits and just be a good student. Sophomore year, I guess those efforts paid off because I got early admission into mechanical engineering. And so my college does this thing where like you're admitted as like a general student, but you have to apply directly into your majors. And oftentimes those majors can be competitive. And there's been cases where students have to like do a major that they're not actually that interested in, or they have to kind of pivot and find new ways to get to the career that they want to be in. And so after kind of getting into my major, I decided, oh, now it's time for me to join some clubs. And so I joined the Taiwanese Student Association. I joined the Hyperloop Club, which was this engineering team that designed, built, and tested a race pod from scratch. And we would bring it down to SpaceX in California to race. And it also got me the opportunity to meet Elon Musk my sophomore year, which was really interesting and fun. It was also the first year that I attended my first career fair, which was really intimidating, but I went off the advice that I got from a peer of mine who was a couple grades ahead, who told me that career fairs are a great way for you to get seen and eventually employed. And being a sophomore, it's an advantage to go early on and get the nerves out of the way. And so I did. To my surprise, I was really lucky to be able to get an internship my sophomore year at a smaller engineering company doing quality engineering. Junior year was a year that I decided I really wanted to focus on getting to Boeing. I remember talking to recruiters as well as counselors, and the things that they mentioned were Boeing looks for someone with a prior internship experience, leadership experience, good grades, generally above like 3.3 or 3.5, as well as passion for aerospace. And so that's kind of what I ended up tailoring my college experience to look like, is to eventually end up at that target. Junior year was a year that I took internships very seriously. I attended a lot of career fairs, spoke with a lot of companies to make sure that I felt comfortable speaking to recruiters, and eventually that ended up leading to a internship with Boeing my junior year. Senior year can be summed up with the year of unexpectedness, because it was the year of 2020 and the pandemic came in, and a lot of the interns in my cohort from my junior year ended up getting notified that we couldn't get any return offers back to the company just due to the state and climate of the world and the company. This was a shock and super stressful period, because now it's like, what do we do after we graduate, and how do we find enough security? Because up until this point, the whole point of college was to get a job, and we've worked hard to solidify this path, and now this path is uncertain. And so there's a sense of not knowing what your worth is. Looking back now, that's when I realized like I attributed so much of my worth to kind of the accolades that you get and the achievements, that when those get taken away, it can be a super stressful time in terms of finding yourself. And so it was about 6 months of unemployment and searching and job apps, interviewing and getting rejected, until I eventually got a return offer back, surprisingly back at Boeing. And so it was kind of a full circle moment for me. And now I've been working there since. Yeah, so that's a very quick rundown. There's a lot of mini stories that goes into that that I could probably share out in a future video. But so now that you know a little bit more about my college experience, the first path or things that I think are important and you'll take away from when you graduate is community. I think college is a great place for you to find where you belong. It's a place where you're surrounded by so many people of similar age, of similar interests, who are in the same life stage as you. Now that I'm working, my coworkers range in terms of the life stage that they're in. And so it brings a lot of breadth, but really in college, it allows you to dive deeper into those relationships and learn more about which of these communities do you resonate the most with. And so like, for example, for me, I joined the Taiwanese Student Association, and being a part of a culture club was a unique experience, because growing up, not knowing many people who spoke my dialect, which is Teochew, it was hard to kind of relate and share that side of myself. And Taiwanese people, they speak Taiwanese, which is a different dialect, but in my mindset, this was the closest I could get to being a part of a club that spoke Teochew. And so I joined it, and it was a great opportunity for me to like learn to speak Mandarin. And to share this entire side, because like I would enjoy listening to Chinese music, absorbing Chinese culture and their entertainment media that they put out. Having to shoot that away in the past felt kind of like I had like a dual identity, but because I went to a really big university, there was a lot of opportunities for me to connect and grow alongside people who truly saw me for me. And there are so many clubs at universities that you can be a part of. And so culture clubs is like one. If you like dancing, if you like skiing, gaming, all of those, there's always an open door for you to discover yourself. And so I'd recommend putting the time into those communities, because those friendships that you make is what you eventually take on with you beyond college. The second thing is opportunities. Like I kind of briefly mentioned in the intro for my college experience, there's so many opportunities that universities give. I think going to university, you're paying for a network in a sense. You're paying for the connections that they have with industry, with companies, with alumni. It's imperative that you take advantage of those. And for me, I found the most value in going to talk to your career counselor to learn more about how you can set yourself up for a career that you're interested in, as well as attending career fairs, because it's a great way for you to talk to employers beyond just applying to something online. When you apply to something online, you're in an application pool with 1,000 of other applicants, and you often go through an ATS system that reads through your resume and filters it for you instead of having a person do it. When you attend career fairs, you're able to kind of get that in-person connection and share a little bit more about who you are as a character, as a person, that it isn't often shown through your resume. And usually that helps you build a rapport around recruiters and can get you opportunities that you might often get dismissed for just if you applied online. And so lastly, I'd say that college brings about a opportunity for you to self-discover yourself and rediscover who you are and define who you are. I think for a lot of us, college is the time when you're either going to the dorms, and so this is like your first time moving out of the home, or you're going to school in a different state. And having this newfound freedom, it allows you to really start cultivating an ear for your inner voice. I think so much of our lives has been about what other people want and catering to what society tells us, or looking at what other people do, that when you finally go to college and you're in this own space of yours, it can be hard to hear what you really want, but if anything, it gives you the opportunity to really try to listen to what you want without any distractions. So I'd encourage you to really discover what you enjoy, because ultimately that's what's going to take you farther. And so yeah, thanks for watching. I feel like as an extrovert, it's always hard for me to do kind of these sit down videos with just me and the camera, because I draw so much of my energy from kind of the people around me, whether that's having a friend here or people in the background. Whenever it's kind of just me and the camera, I often get kind of distracted. I have a lot of like spontaneous ideas and thoughts that it eventually doesn't lead to a succinct and connected series of thoughts that I can put into the camera. And so like this is take 40. So I've done 40 starts and stops since this video. But yeah, this whole point of like doing YouTube is to really be honest, and I don't want to like shield any part of this really, because yeah, I think it's good to share out that it's not easy. It's not, you know, as glamorous as it might look like. And I think more so for me, when I look back on this, it would be good for me to see how much I've grown throughout the years. Anyways, so I think that'll be it for this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys next week.